Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to show you how to find all 31 field guide pages here in the Highlands and Hogwarts Legacy. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Now to get our first page, we're going to start on the northern side of the map up here in North Ford Bog, and we're going to come over here to the Pit upon Ford Floo-Flame. Now after taking this Floo-Flame, once we spawn in, we're going to head right, and we're going to work our way towards this bridge. I'm going to hop on my broomstick to save a couple seconds, but once you get to the bridge, we'll go across. And then we're going to go to the right. And once we go to the right over here, you guys will see a sign before we get to another bridge. We're going to use Revelio in front of this sign and we'll get our first field guide page. Now to get our second page, we're going to head east and we're going to come over here to the East North Ford Bog Floo-Flame. Now after taking this Floo-Flame, our next location is actually going to be just north, right here on my screen. Now I'll make this very clear at the beginning of the video. If you've been in the area and you've used Revelio, the field guide page emblem will pop up and you can mark it and it'll make it way easier to find. However, if you haven't used Revelio in this area, this marker won't pop up on your map. So you need to just place a regular marker. So again, just going north from the East North Ford Bog, our location is going to be just behind this set of 3 trees near some boats. So just mark over there, take this Floo-Flame. Once doing so, we can exit the little hut that we spawn in and head towards the marker that you placed in the back. Now, once we get back here, you guys will see that we have a little miniature castle. We're going to go behind this castle. And again, we're going to be looking for 2 miniature boats. We'll fly behind the castle here. And once we do, you guys will see a little section of water with a small little dock. And here are our 2 boats. We'll walk up here on this little dock, use Revelio, and we'll get our next field guide page. Now to get our third page, we're going to head southeast and we're going to come over here to the Fallbarton Castle Floo-Flame and we're going to take that Floo-Flame, and the location is actually going to be over here in a tavern in the middle of this giant castle. So go ahead and take the Fallbarton Castle Floo-Flame, and after taking that Floo-Flame, I'm going to hop on my broomstick and we're going to fly over the castle walls. Now you may have to fight some enemies down here if you haven't been here yet, but once we get over the wall, we're going to head this way. And right over here is going to be our rundown tavern. We'll go inside and there'll be a table here we can use Revelio and you'll be able to get your next page. Now for our fourth page, we're going to come over here and take the East Hogsmeade Valley Floo-Flame. And what we're going to do is head south, and there's going to be a small little building down here that we're going to get our next field guide page. So if you need to, place a marker next to these 2 trees. Go ahead and take the Floo-Flame here, East Hogsmeade Valley. And after taking that Floo-Flame, we'll walk outside the door, hop on our broomstick, and immediately fly past these 2 giant trees right here in front of us. Now, once we get to the other side of the trees, you guys will see the little building that I was talking about. And over here on the right side of the building, you guys will see we have this little plant area. Go ahead and use Revelio in front of the plants, and you'll be able to get your next page. Now, our next page is going to be found just south of Hogsmeade on the ledge here. There's an overlook in this area. So if you place a marker down just southeast of Hogsmeade, we're then going to go into the Hogsmeade map. And we're going to come down here and take the South Hogsmeade Floo-Flame. Now, after taking that Floo-Flame, all we need to do is turn around and we're going to leave the actual town itself. And as we do, we'll be able to follow this path and through this wooden gate. And all we need to do is continue to follow this path. And it's going to lead us all the way up here to this overlook. Now, once we get to the top of the stairs, your field guide page will be on the left over here by this bench. Go ahead and use Revelio, and you'll get your next page. Now, after grabbing this page, we actually don't need to take a Floo-Flame, as our next field guide page is located in the small town that's just at the bottom of this overlook. So what we'll do is go back to where we just got our last field guide page. And unfortunately, we can't hop on our broom because we're technically still in Hogsmeade, and you don't want to jump off because you don't want to risk dying. So come over here to the side, jump off here. And once you're down here, you can then hop on your broomstick. Actually, no, we got to go a little bit lower. So come down here. And once you're down here, you're officially back in the valley. You can hop on your broomstick. And we're just going to follow the train tracks into this town. Now, once we get into the town, we're going to go to the left. And right here in front of these stairs, we're going to see Hogsmeade Station. Go ahead and use Revelio right in front of the door, and you'll be able to get your next field guide page. Now, to get our 7th page, we're going to head west, and we're going to come all the way over here to the Forbidden Forest Floo-Flame. Now, if you guys look just to the east of the Forbidden Forest, we have these ruins. Our next field guide page is going to be on the hill just north of those ruins. So if you don't have the emblem, just put a marker down in this area. Come down here and take the Forbidden Forest Floo-Flame, and then we're just going to fly toward the marker that we just placed. So essentially, we'll fly on the edge of the forest here. And once we get past these trees and work our way up this hill, you guys will notice that we have some people up here flying kites. as well as 2 wooden seats. Now, these people flying kites won't always be up here, so look out for these seats right here, as these will always be here. And once you're up here, you can just use Revelio in front of them, and you'll be able to get your next field guide page. Now, to get our next page, we're going to head north of Hogsmeade, and we're going to come over here to Upper Hogsfield. So we'll have the Upper Hogsfield Flue Flame over here. We're going to take that Flue Flame, and the location of our next page is actually going to be in the very back of the town, inside of a little bar. So go ahead and take the Upper Hogsfield Flue Flame. And after doing so, we'll hop on our broomstick and we're going to work our way to the northern side of the town. Now, as we fly over here, you guys will see the biggest building in the back. We're going to go in the door on the left side over here by these giant barrels. And once we walk in this little doorway, you guys will see the bar that I was talking about. Go ahead and use Revelio and you'll be able to get your next page here. Now, for our next page, we're going to head over to Arrynshire. Now, for those of you who don't know, Arrynshire is just east of the Hogwarts Castle. So if you come over here, we'll have the Arrynshire Flue Flame. Go ahead and take that Flue Flame, and once doing so, we're going to turn right, and over here we're going to have this giant cage. In front of this cage, you can use Revelio, and we'll get our next page right here. Now, to get our 10th page, we're going to go just south of the Hogwarts Castle to Lower Hogsfield, and we'll go ahead and take the Lower Hogsfield Flue Flame. The location of our next field guide page is going to be at the top of the hill just north in the little hut. So we'll go ahead and put a marker down in this area if you don't have the field guide page marker. And come down here and take the Lower Hogsfield Flue Flame. And after doing so, we'll hop on our broomstick and we're just going to follow the path that's in front of us. If you follow this path all the way up the hill, as we get to where the path splits, you guys will see the hut right in front of us. Once we get up here, we can go inside. I believe there may be a lock on this door, so you may need Alohomora to get in. But once you're inside on this back table here, we'll go ahead and use Revelio, and you'll get your next page right here. Now, for our next page, we're going to continue to head south, and we're going to come down here to the West Hogwarts Valley Flue Flame. And our next page is actually going to be found up on top of the hill that's right next to this Flue Flame. So go ahead and take the West Hogwarts Valley Flame. And once doing that, hop on your broomstick and we're just going to fly up and to the right here. You guys will see on our right hand side, we have this giant mountain. We're going to fly all the way to the top of it. And once we get up above the rocks, you guys will see we have this little town area here. We'll go under this little overhang, and inside here we can go ahead and use Revelio and we'll be able to get our next page right here. Now, for our 12th page, we're going to head east and we're going to come over here to the Central Hogwarts Valley Flue Flame, and the page location is going to be just west of this Flue Flame by some cool stacks of rocks. So go ahead and take this Flue Flame, and once doing so, you'll spawn in a hut. We're going to walk outside, and after you leave the little hut, hop on your broomstick and we're going to go around the building, and we're going to go past the giant tree and across the river. And as we get over here, you guys will notice the little stacked rocks that I was talking about in a circle. We're going to come right over here and we'll use Revelio by the rocks, and we'll be able to get our next field guide page. Now, to get our next page, we're going to continue to move east and we're going to come over here to Brockborough. Now, we'll take the Brockborough Flue Flame that's here, and the location of this field guide page is going to be by a scarecrow in a garden. So go ahead and take the Brockborough Flue Flame, and once doing so, hop on your broomstick and we're going to fly over towards this house. And as you guys can see, in between both of these little houses, we have a garden with a scarecrow. We can land, go ahead and use Revelio, and you'll be able to get your next field guide page. Now, for our next page, we're going to head down to Keenbridge. Now, down here at the Keenbridge Flue Flame, we actually have 3 pages that are located in this town. So go ahead and take the Keenbridge Flue Flame, and once you spawn in, we're going to turn left immediately and go up to this bar. And right here at this bar, use Revelio, and you'll get your first page right here. Now, after grabbing the page at the bar, we're then going to turn around, go back down the stairs, and go to the house that's directly in front of us under these 2 trees. And as we walk up to this house, right here in front of the front door, just use Revelio, and you'll get your next page right here. Now, after grabbing this page, our 3rd page in Keenbridge is going to be behind us. So we're going to turn around, we're going to hop on our broomstick, and we're going to fly to the right side of the bar that we just went to. And you guys will see these beehive looking things over here. There's 3 of them. Our field guide page is going to be found on the far left one. So come over here to the left beehive, use Revelio, and you'll get your 3rd page right here. Now, after grabbing your 3rd page in Keenbridge, we're then going to open up our map, and our next location is going to be just west of Keenbridge. So over here, we'll have an ancient magic hotspot. Our field guide page is going to be located over here by this hotspot. So all we're going to do is hop on our broomstick, and we're going to turn around, as there's no Flue Flame that's any closer than where we're already at. And we're just going to fly in this direction, and essentially what we'll do is just fly over open fields here until we get to the ancient magic hotspot. Now, what you want to do is fly over the building to this giant tree behind it, and over here you guys will see some candles that are on the ground. We're going to use Revelio right by this tombstone and the candles, and we'll be able to get our next page. Now, to get our next page, we don't need to take a Flue Flame, as our next one is pretty close by. All we're going to do is head southwest, and down here we have a small bandit camp. our next page is going to be found right next to this bandit camp. So if you don't have this on your map, it'll be east of the Fooper Den and really just southwest of this cluster of trees. So what we'll do is we'll just hop back on our broomstick and fly that direction as we're about 300 meters away. And we'll fly all the way through all the trees. And as we get close, you guys will be able to find the bandit camp pretty quickly. Now, if you haven't been up here, you will have to fight some bandits. But if not, we're just going to go under this overhang. And by these barrels here, you can use Revelio. And you'll be able to get your next page right here. Now for our next page, we're going to want to head down here to the Northern South Seabog Fluflame. And I've already picked up this page, so I'm going to have to show you exactly where to go. So you guys will see just south of this Fluflame, we have what looks like a little bridge on the map that kind of leads this little pathway through the swamp. As soon as you exit the bridge, you guys will see this really tiny body of water right here that's almost like a peninsula. Right here, we're going to place down a marker, and this is where we're going to have a rundown house in the middle of the swamp. So go ahead and take the Northern South Seabog Fluflame, and then we're just going to exit this little hut and fly toward our marker. All we have to do is look left, hop on our broomstick, and start flying over the swamp. And as we head this direction, you guys will start to see the little house that's pretty much destroyed in the middle of the swamp. Your next field guide page is going to be found right here in front of this house. Now to get your final page that's in this area, you actually have to complete a quest, and it's about halfway through the main mission. And Natty's going to give you a quest called The Lost Child. And essentially what you need to do is track down this little kid that's missing. And as you're following through this quest, you're going to come across his little makeshift tent where he's got a sign that says Beasts Welcome. Right in front of this tent is where you're going to be able to get your next field guide page. So again, it's called The Lost Child. If you haven't completed that quest, all you have to do is follow Natty's storyline and you will get the main mission and you'll find yourself at this tent. It's very easy to accomplish, but if not, the location of the tent is actually just south of Lower Hogsfield. You guys can see that we have our ancient magic little castle here. It's just to the right of this castle. So if you need to find this location, it's right here. But again, you can grab this during the Lost Child quest. Now, after grabbing that page, we're then going to head to the southwest portion of our map down here to Feldcroft. And what we're going to do is take the Feldcroft Fluflame. Now, after you take that Fluflame, you'll spawn in and you guys will see a well that's right in front of you. All we're going to do is walk up to this well, go ahead and use Revelio, and your next page will be right here. Now, after you grab the page at the well, we're going to continue to head back behind it as our next page is really close by. Now, as you fly over this way, you guys will start to notice that we have some practice dummies that are over here. Right here in front of the practice dummies, we can hop off our broomstick, use Revelio, and you'll get your next page right in front of these dummies. Now, after grabbing the page by the practice dummies, we're then going to open up our map, and just north of our area, we're going to have another ancient magic hotspot right over here next to the water. We're also going to have a field guide page that's located in this area. So place a marker down up here, and then all we're going to do is hop on our broomstick from these dummies, and once doing so, we'll head toward that marker that we placed. Again, this is about 250 to 300 meters away, so we'll just fly this direction. You guys will start to see the giant building over here that shows where we're headed. And once we get down here, we're going to go to the lower side of this building on this platform right here. Again, you'll need your broomstick to get up here the easier way. And once you land, just turn around, use Revelio, and on this platform, you'll be able to get your next field guide page. Now, to get our next page, we're going to head back over to the Feldcroft Fluflame, and the page is going to be found just south over here at the bottom of this mountain. So there's a marker here for me. If you don't have the marker on your screen, just put a marker down on the edge of this mountain down here, just south of the Fluflame. Take the Fluflame, and once doing so, we'll hop on our broomstick, and we'll fly about 170 meters toward the page itself. Now, once you get over here, you guys will see it looks like it's under the hill. We're going to go on the other side, and once you get over here, we're just going to work our way down. And there's going to be this little weird-looking ritual site right here against the rocks. We can hop off our broomstick, use Revelio by these candles, and we'll be able to get our next field guide page. Now, for our next page, we're going to head northeast, and we're going to come over here to the town of Irondale. Now, what we'll do is we'll take the Irondale Fluflame, and after taking that Fluflame, when you spawn in, you guys will see the giant windmill. We're going to fly up toward the windmill. And at the bottom, over here where we have our stairs, we can use Revelio, and right here at the stairs, we'll be able to get our next field guide page. Now, to get our next page, we're going to head just west over here to the Feldcroft Catacomb Fluflame, and we'll go ahead and take that Fluflame, and our location is going to be just east. You guys will see just southeast of this, we have a small bandit camp. Our page is going to be found under this bandit camp, so go ahead and take the Feldcroft Catacomb Fluflame. And once doing so, we'll hop on our broomstick and head in the direction that we just placed a marker at for that bandit camp. And as we fly over the edge of this mountain, you guys will start to see the bandit camp. Now we're going to continue to fly over this, and we're going to go down to the bottom of the mountain. So we'll go all the way down, and then we're going to turn around, and you guys can see we can go even lower in here. And once you come around this corner, you guys will start to see this fire that's down here. We're going to land in front of this fire, and you can use Revelio, and right here is going to be the location for your next field guide page. Now for our next page, we're going to head east over toward the Poidsir Coast. Now once we get over here, we're going to have a couple flue flames. We're going to want to take the North Poidsir Coast flue flame. And after taking this flue flame, the field guide page is going to be literally right where you spawn. So right where this drop off is, just use Revelio and you'll be able to get your next page here. Now to get page number 28, we're going to head all the way to the southeastern portion of our map to Cragcroft. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the Cragcroft flue flame. Now after taking this flue flame, we'll walk outside the little hut that we spawn in, and we're going to work our way toward the giant tree in the middle of the town. We'll fly down here past this giant house, and you guys will see the giant tree here. And all we'll do is come over here to the left side of the tree, use Revelio, and you'll be able to get your next field guide page right here in front of this giant tree. Now, because unfortunately we don't have a lot of flue flames down here, we're going to have to get to our next page with a broomstick. So what we'll do is we'll open up our map, and our next location is going to be found just southwest. So you guys can see over here on this little drop off next to the mountain, there's going to be a page that's down here. Now, if you don't have this marker, all you need to do is head southwest from where we're at and place a marker in this area on your map. We're going to be heading towards a giant skeleton. So you can hop on your broomstick, turn around, and we can fly toward the marker that we just placed. Now that marker will be past this giant ruined structure over here. So we'll just kind of fly to the edge of the mountain. And after we get past this structure, we look down. You guys will see that down here we have this giant skeleton. And right here at the head of this skeleton is where we're going to be able to get our next field guide page. So just go ahead and use Revelio and you'll get your next one right here. Now again, because we're low on flue flames in this area, we're going to have to fly to our next location, which is just going to be west of where we're currently at now. So just west over here, you guys will see on the top of this hill, we have a medium bandit camp. This next field guide page is going to be found right in front of this bandit camp. So from where we're at, we'll hop back on our broomstick and we'll fly toward that direction. Now again, we'll be about 330 meters away, but it won't take too long to get there, as you can already see the bandit camp from here. So we'll just fly up here. If you haven't been through this bandit camp yet, you might have to fight some enemies if you get too close. But if not, you should be fine. But over here next to the bandit camp, you guys will see all the lights on this little dock area. And right here where all these bottles are on the table, we're going to use Revelio and we'll be able to get our next page right here. Now, after grabbing this page, we only have one field guide page left to grab, and we're going to fly again on broomstick there. Go ahead and open up your map. And the next location is going to be found just south of where we're at. So you guys can see on my map here, I have a marker for it. But if you don't, we're just going to put a marker just east of this small bandit camp down here. So we're pretty much just going to head south. So after grabbing this one, hop on our broomstick, we'll fly over the bottles, back down the hill to the edge of this giant mountain here, and you guys can see the path. We're going to have a small tent down here, so you guys can find the location from these tents. But once you get down here to this tent, all you got to do is use Revelio inside, and you'll be able to get your 31st and final field guide page. But this is how to get all 31 field guide pages here in the Highlands in Hogwarts Legacy. If you guys have any other questions, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.